Well, next up, we've got more local interest in the men's single.
Yeah, men's single sculls. Over there is this amazing Brazilian, Lucas Ferreira. Trying to work out when it was that a Brazilian was last in the final of World Cup. And here's the Polish sculler, Piotr Plominski, 23, under 23 gold medalist, coached by Rob Sitz, who's got a lightweight gold himself. Olympic bronze medalist, silver medalist, and silver medalist back in London. Damian Martin, big question mark as to what he's going to do on this course. This was his comeback year in 2016, where he went head-to-head with Mahe Drysdale. The Kiwi now occupying the slot is Tom McIntosh, who we just saw there. Rode bow in the Kiwi 8 that took gold. Sverre Nielsen from the Faroe Islands just missed a medal in Tokyo, took 4th place, back now. And George Bourne, the shaved head Brit, back in his Cobra Wintec, the black boat. He did rode in an M-Packer through the season where he tried to qualify the Olympics, didn't make it, so he's gone back into his Wintec. And he will go through the first 500, I think, not far off the lead. So there are the 6 men scullers driving off. Tom McIntosh was ill in Lucerne, couldn't race in the final. The bronze medalist from last year's World Championship. There is Lucas Ferreira. At the age of 14, a friend said, come down and have a look at the Lagoa. In Brazil, the Botafogo club that he trained at. He took up rowing at 14. He's never looked back. He is now right at the peak of his powers. Finished just outside of the B final in Lucerne, but he's back to his best here. Really moved on and looking to make the last 12 in the Olympics. There goes George Bourne with Sverre Nielsen. He's going crazy, George Bourne.
Well, he is, and do you know what? I think he's probably learned some lessons from the final Olympic qualification regatta where he got caught short in the final, not making that top 2 to book the men's single for Great Britain to Paris. But you know what he said to me afterwards? He said, do you know what? I probably shouldn't have gone out and tried to win every race because it's a long regatta, and he's not done that here. You know, he's sort of done what he's needed to do. I think he was 3rd in his semi-final, so he's got all of his beans still to spend here in this A final, which is probably what we'll see him do.
It's very Nielsen has gone off like a man possessed, and Tom McIntosh, he's just cool, calm and collected. I mean, Tom's really not let Sverre's fast start upset him. He looks long, he looks controlled. He's keeping an eye to his right on Damian Martin, the Olympic bronze medalist from Tokyo, who at the moment is just going toe-to-toe with Plominski, the young Pole. Sverre Nielsen, well, yeah, I said George Bourne wasn't going to be far off the lead at 500. That's a pretty quick time, 1:41 in these conditions. Not going to be near the world's best time of 6:30. There's George Bourne, there's Sverre Nielsen. What a great shot, Tom McIntosh. Just moving slowly through. The Kiwis have been phenomenal here. He had a look, didn't he, at Sverre Nielsen there, just to say, OK, so I'm through you. I expect Tom McIntosh to move away and lead this field by the 1,000 metres, but it's so close in this early stage of the race. Really, just lane 1, the Brazilian Lucas Ferreira off the back.
Yeah, and this, for Sverre Nielsen, it's been a disappointing season because in 2023 he was on every podium, I think, in the men's single, but this time he's missed it a couple of times this year, both at the Europeans and at World Cup 2, 4th in both of those competitions.
Yes, and there is Tom McIntosh, and he's driving out in front. Looks really strong, really fluid. Back to the kind of form which we saw him take a bronze medal in the World Championships. Yeah, nice sternward shot of the Kiwi there. Absolutely doing what he needs to do in this second 500 metres. Going to set him up for a great third quarter. See the bow of number 5, Sverre Nielsen, the Dane. And there's the Croatian sculler. Now, Damian Martin has got a finish. We know that. He's still in connection, but he's just going with George Bourne for a bronze medal here. And it's going to be really interesting to see if Damian Martin can find something extra in the third quarter.
Yeah, Damien Martin, a bit of a roller coaster. We're always riding with him in terms of his performances, and he seems to be able to turn it on when it counts, but can let it slip perhaps when not. So, but look at these shots of Tom McIntosh, who's out there, out of the men's 8 into the men's single for this Olympiad, which I think is such a difficult transition, but he's mastered it beautifully, hasn't he?
I like what Dami's doing now. And he's, you know, Damien Martin in the red and white Croatian. Yeah, we apologise if we have sound that's lost. We think you're still getting us on the live stream, as far as we know. Look at the way, you see, people say fast legs, but look, he squeezes it at the front end, Tom McIntosh. He just takes the weight on his glutes, and those legs, they just have that slow motion, and then he accelerates them down. Gritting his teeth. Damien Martin has got through Sverre Nielsen. This is going to be a great race for Damien Martin. He will love the fact he's coming into his best form as the Paris Olympics comes closer. He has never failed to medal at an Olympics. Sverre Nielsen, Damien Martin, this is the silver and bronze medal contest. Plominski is still in the mix, bow number 2, the young Pole. Damien Martin, we'll see if he's got a sprint finish.
Yeah, Damien Martin just seemed to time this to perfection in terms of the season, in terms of the 4 years of the Olympiad, or 3 years in this case. The Croatian just comes back stronger than ever when required of him, when asked of him, and to be only, a length and a half off Tom McIntosh, who, let's face it, not at the beginning, not at the sort of front end of this field, in the absence of both Van Dorp and Zeidler, who we saw at World Cup 2 right out in the front of there, and Tom McIntosh, we know, has suffered some illness, hence his withdrawal from Lucerne. It's great to see him back on form, but the Croatian really pressing on hard. But the fastest moving sculler on the water now, Sverre Nielsen.
Damien Martin just managed to keep the bow of that yellow Empacher ahead of the white Filippi of Sverre Nielsen, and Tom McIntosh back up to his best form. I guess Ollie Zeidler will be looking at this race. I guess Simon Van Dorp, and as we talk, Sverre Nielsen moves through Damien Martin, and Damien Martin has got to respond to that charge if he wants the silver medal. Plominski at the top of your picture, the pole is still there. George Bourne is there in 4th or 5th place for Great Britain. Here comes Damien Martin. He has found something extra. The Croatian has found an inspiration, that sprint that took him right up to Mahe Drysdale. He's found it again. What's Sverre Nielsen got to offer as they come up to the line? Tom McIntosh is charging for it. The New Zealander is out in front. Damien Martin looks across at Sverre Nielsen. He's gone early. Has Sverre Nielsen got something left? It's Damien Martin. Sverre Nielsen. McIntosh takes the gold medal. Damien Martin just wins the silver ahead of Sverre. What a great race that was. Plominski takes the 4th. Britain takes 5th place. I'm not sure if that'll be enough for Britain to win the overall World Cup title. And in 6th place is Brazilian. He wasn't too far off Lucas Verthin Ferreira. What an amazing race that was. And I think that will really, yeah, Damien Martin loves that race. See him kiss his ring. I think
the head nod, pleased with that. And he should be. He absolutely should be really pleased with that, because that is a glimmer of hope for his Olympic campaign. Damien, the 3-time Olympic medalist, as you've already mentioned. Sverre Nielsen, I think good that he's on the podium, but we've got more people to add back in here.
There's Damien off the start. Look at that. Those short strokes, powerful strokes. Lucas Verthin Ferreira, George Bourne right up there. That's 500 metres gone in this race. Sverre Nielsen led early on. Tom McIntosh looks so smooth coming out. He's going to feel so good about that, Tom McIntosh, after a bit of a disappointing Lucerne with that illness, going through the 1,000 metres and then just pushing away. And here's that, amazing sort of move that Damien Martin made just to get ahead of Sverre Nielsen, and Damien Martin coming back to his best when it counts in time for the Olympics. He will believe he can still medal in Paris.
Yeah, totally, Martin. And I feel like the single is always one of those events that comes to surprise you, right? No matter how much you think, much like in Tokyo, right? With Deidler, everyone thought that that was a done and dusted deal, but this event here in Poznan, this is for them to gain confidence. The likes of Tom McIntosh will be, you know, winding his sails, feeling so confident with a gold medal after this World Cup.
So just over 7 for Tom McIntosh. Damir beating Sverry by, what is it? A tenth of a second, just over a tenth of a second.